that. You know you like that. See, I rep the most high, still I'm the most fly. I win so much they wanna know who I'm coached by. Every day approached by chicks when I was multi. Wanna give me soul side, but I'm like, don't try. I see the hisses and the disses when I go by, but see the misses on my wrists when I float by. Self-control and I can't tell you no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat. The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left the house. You know you like that. What? You know you like that. Come on. You know you like that.
Check, check, 1, 2, 2. What's up?
Good morning, Shreveport. How is everybody this morning?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome.
Good. We're about to get you turned on, ladies.
Yeah, everybody's
sure I'm
on.
on.
Play some
Everybody's
intros.
on.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Everybody's
Okay.
on today. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
It's a lovely day. Look cold outside.
Colder
Well-
than
A little bit.
anticipated.
I'm sure you were the coldest among us this morning, Ashlee.
Yes. I'm around 4 a.m. this morning.
4 a.m.
Yes,
Yeah,
bring your mic. Yeah, bring
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't be
bring
afraid.
it out. Yeah, bring it out. We'll
Yeah,
to you.
There we
don't
go.
be afraid
There
to
you go.
grab
Hear
it.
me?
Get a hold of that thing.
Own it.
I do know.
You
for
hear
real.
me? Own it.
Yeah.
Own it. Okay, speaking of owning it, tell us about what you've been up to this morning, Ashlee.
We have been at the Amazon Fulfillment Center doing breakfast.
Nice.
Oh, okay, let's get that mic fixed. Breakfast sandwiches at the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
Uh-huh.
So how long have you been doing that?
We've done it a few times now. Usually we do like dinner and lunch there, but they reached out to us and did a breakfast truck.
How
So,
often do you go to Amazon for dinner, lunch, or breakfast?
So for the breakfast, we're going to be doing it every single day, Monday to Friday, throughout the month. And then dinner is usually 3-4 times a month.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome, Ashlee.
Mm,
That's
super
incredible. And
cool.
Rachel, what have you been up to this morning?
Straightening my hair, taking a shower, making sure I smell good, so you guys don't tell me I stink.
No, I don't think I would tell you stink.
No, just been, preparing for this morning. Super
Okay.
excited to be back on the show, chatting with you guys again. And
Yeah, we love having you.
Thank you.
It's very natural. I remember like one of the very first episodes when we had you on, I was like, you know what, we're going to have Racheal on every now and then because she is a good talker and
She is.
she's a
Thank
connector.
you.
And I don't
Good
think,
spirit, too.
yeah,
Thank
great
you.
spirit. I don't think a
So
lot of
sweet.
people understand the value of a naturally connecting personality. It's an essential part of any team. Having a connector, having someone to thread the line socially. It's important. And I think having an event coordinator like you, who is very keyed in socially, is a good thing. So it's nice. It's nice to have that on the show. They kind of segue and ping pong a lot. Feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, I have you here this morning. It's very.
Oh, by the way, Happy New Year to everybody.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
It's another year, 2026. Yeah, so I'm excited about this year. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
amazing
awesome.
up here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What-
this is season 2 as well.
Oh, this is
I mean-
season 2 of Good Morning Shreveport?
Most definitely.
That's
Yeah.
the first
Oh.
episode. I mean,
Oh.
listen, we're only 5 days in. We're already making moves. So.
Oh, okay. Well, Good
It's the
Morning
first
Shreveport
episode
season
of Good-
2.
Yes.
See, I just let the executive producer tell me everything. I just show up and be pretty
Hey, he do
and
it.
talk. No, speaking of showing up and being pretty, just kidding. That was probably a horrible segue.
I mean, I did shower.
No, today we're talking about women of impact.
Yes.
Moving forward with women as partners in 2026. Walking alongside women, looking at women as, our right hands, our most important asset, sometimes way more important than us. Ooh, it just got turned way up. Did I get turned up for y'all?
I turned you up.
Oh, good morning. But yeah, no, that's way better. Oh, no, this is me. Yeah, my ears were, they were definitely basically off compared to this.
Yeah.
All right, so women of impact and why women are so impactful in our lives as men. What makes them impactful moving forward in 2026, looking at them as partners. Assets, but not assets, truly equal partners. And I think it's easier for me because I'm extremely effeminate and I often relate personally to women more than other men, for me to get in kind of like a girlhood sister bond mode. But I don't know if a lot of men can kind of like do what I've done my whole life. Like I was one of the kids that like I was in 5th grade still having sleepovers with girls and I was like, these idiots.
Lucky you.
I know. I was like, they were my neighbors
My
and stuff,
parents
but
were-
I was like, this is going to be a liability at some point. But it
Dare.
also bonded me deeply to the spirit of womanhood, and I love women. I think
Me too.
being surrounded by such a family full of
Yeah.
matriarchs as opposed
sure.
to patriarchs, women in my family and historically often had to play the roles that would be, generally and typically and societally held by men as leaders, providers, the protectors, especially often because they were the leaders and the providers and the protectors from the men in the family, which often is such a common theme that we don't acknowledge that when we signify the importance of women, it's often because women have to do the roles of both genders as we see them as gender roles. It's like, if you have something to add.
No, I'm just
But-
nodding.
But so I'm segueing this and I'm going to let you talk and we're going to interview you after my monologue. But it's because I see through entrepreneurship as event coordinators, as chefs and bakers and food truck owners, which, that's just one thing in itself because it's like, what's the oldest profession in the world? Going everywhere and doing everything. Having a food truck, you just pop up and do business, girl. You just open the awning and go. And you being in one location, you're central to people like that.
Yeah.
So how as men are we going to move forward and acknowledge that, like, not that we're losing ground, but there has to be some societal turn point where we have to just accept that, we're not the superior sex anymore. And it shows in your coordination skills because we're hopeless. We're hopeless. And I think as a partnered man, it just is easy to see and sitting in front of women of impact, how hopeless a person like me is, because we need essential women. So, and I know T Vokalz has a lot to say because he has a family business that is centered around his mother and her ability. They own Little Animals Crawfish, which is about to get crazy.
3 more weeks.
Crawfish.
Shreveport?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a new business?
No, we've been open for 6 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
He
really?
actually retired as the executive
Yeah.
chef 2 years ago to
Oh, I
pursue
didn't know
this.
that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. It's a lot
Oh,
about me
okay.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just humble. I'm just a humble guy, and I
Uh-huh.
love to work, and I just love to just make things happen.
yeah,
So,
it's cool. But no, we want to
so yeah, I
segue.
gotta go. I definitely gotta come over.
Yeah.
I was going to say crawfish at some point.
Yeah.
And we get an invite back, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
definitely
No.
Yeah.
Live crawfish boil.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Hey, we do
definitely
that at
do
my
it.
place.
No, so that's okay. So moving into exactly crawfish boils, Mardi Gras balls,
Yes.
obviously all the Lego building that we can fit in. Racheal and her husband recently sponsored our Lego company, which you guys can see on Go Build. But it's that kind of relationship that we bring in the free Lego play for your kids.
Yeah.
You know, you sponsor the Lego play, and then people like Ashlee with her food truck. You're gonna have the kids and the families there anyway.
Oh, it's already in the works. So
Yeah.
on the 7th, definitely come out. We're
We were
coordinating.
talking about it, yeah.
Yeah,
the
we were
7th.
coordinating.
February
before.
7th?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then put it on my schedule as one of the Mardi Gras
yes.
pop-ups, and we'll provide free Lego play.
Yes,
There
you
you
me
go.
so much.
Just like that. And, you know, and it, we talk about this all the time, but it will pay us forward
Oh, absolutely.
because the parents and the families will say, oh, you know, Racheal and Ashlee's event, they had the free Lego play, they had all the things for the kids. You know, who knows what we'll bring out. But it just makes an impact to see us work together and collaborate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
it's cool.
And you were, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit because you were talking so much about the foundation of like, you know, women kind of on the rise. And men don't become obsolete, you just become the foundation. And like with my husband and I, like our foundation is him at the base, at the core. I'm the visionary. I'm the dreamer. I'm off in the clouds, and he helps like solidify that. He helps, you know, bring that to life. But again, like he is the foundation. I know, I'm sure, you know, as a, you know, a Christian man, I know you've heard about like, you know, the man being the head and the woman being the
Right,
neck. Like
right.
we help direct, we guide. And so like none of this would be possible if we didn't have people in our corner supporting us. And I don't know what your relationship is or how
Yeah.
your spouse is with that. But I know for me, like I could not be doing this without like my husband creating that foundation and being like, okay, let's make this happen.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the one who says, hey, I really want to do this. And he's like, okay, I'll make it happen. You know?
Yes,
Exactly,
logistics.
exactly.
He always says like, this is her dream. I'm just, you know, I'm just there to make it happen. But yeah, this, I mean, our food truck business, even the baking business that I started, that only worked because he was there egging me on in the background. He was there supporting me when I thought that I couldn't do it. So
No, and it's
Yeah.
the same story for me too. Like
completely
I
agree.
was working in the corporate world. I was working for Starbucks. I'd been there for a year and a half, was moving my way up the ranks. And he was like, this is non-traditional. I can't support this anymore. He's like, if you want to do this, you're going to have to find another way because you are so much better than this. You are going to accomplish so many great things and you cannot do that working for somebody else, filling someone else's pockets.
Come on.
And I stepped out and, you know, we built what we've built in the last like couple of years. And it's just been unbelievable, really. Super unbelievable. But again, took my husband, the man, to believe in me as the woman and me as a creator and a visionary. And that is how we've gotten where we are. And so, like, I love that y'all are wanting to focus on women because,
Most definitely.
again, like, we're here to make things. We're here to create. We're here to build. We're here to,
I love
you know,
that.
just
Yeah.
make a difference.
And then, but I look at it from the other perspective, and like I close my eyes, and I use the word that you use, visionary, and I like also I do see woman as homemaker and maker, and you know, and lovely, and all those things, and you know, as being essential to the rock and foundation. But then I also remember not everybody has the privilege of having a foundation, if it's a man or not, you know. And then I also look back to the fact that there were women in history that were spear wives, you know, that were shield toters, and to kind of segue into the fact that, like, in my relationship personally, I'm the neck too. And it's so weird because we're both the rock and the neck, and I feel almost would be completely wayward without the other. And in my personal experience, it's probably because, again, I'm the kind of guy that, like, I'll be an executive all day. I'll make the hard decisions. And then I go home, and I say this all the time on the show. Sometimes I just curl up into a ball, and the weight of the world just crushes me. And it's like, I don't need to be bottle fed or my diaper changed, but it's like, I'm like a big old baby sometimes, because when you make executive level decisions all day, and especially when, practicing my autism medicine therapy throughout the week, I make executive level decisions about people's lives, about their freedom, about whether or not they're going to the hospital for 3 days or 2 weeks and things like that. And it is significant when you're sleeping at night and thinking, what if that kid didn't need to go to LSU for 2 weeks? What if that kid was just having a bad day? Stuff like that. And then I think, what if I had a more womanly heart? What if I was more empathic? What if I was leading more with a motherly way and less from a clinical expertise or, obligated opinion, feeling this is just the way, and led with more, a more woman of impact mind? I just think that would have a significant impact on my career as an executive, as a therapist, And I want to explore that in 2026, which is why in our radio career, you know, NARD wants to bring on a group of women to discuss issues of impact for women. You know, what matters to women.
For
mothers.
women, by women, only about women.
Yeah.
All things women.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because my mother right now, she's going through a health challenge right now, but as women, y'all have been looked over a lot. And it's almost like it's a habit in our society that women don't have a voice or it's not relevant. No, it is. Y'all have a voice too as well, you know. And I have a strong mother, and I've seen it through my eyes of how great women are. You know what I'm saying? By also too being a provider.
Yeah.
I was saying it on my live that women are providers too as well. You know what I'm saying? And when my father decided to go full-time ministry, my mother helped and took care of the load. She got extra jobs and things like that to make sure that the house was still running smoothly while my father, with his vision, because I feel like if a man has a vision, I feel like the woman will follow.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying. So we knew that my father was the man and he did have a vision. And I was thankful for my mother to be like, I got you. Let's do what we need to do. So yes, yeah, I can't wait to have this because it's gonna be something for the women. And also too, it's gonna be therapy and healing too as well. It's gonna be some crying and things like that.
I love it.
You know,
I'm such a
because
crier.
I want people to open up. I
Yeah.
want women to be on here and completely be transparent. You know, I don't want anyone coming on the show and not being no. I need you to be really transparent because you're gonna help another lady in the world because I feel like this platform is gonna be worldwide one day and it's gonna get there. So let's go ahead and do it now by being impactful in our city of Shreveport, Louisiana, and continue to put the spotlight, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. And you bring on cultural perspectives from around the world. You know, if it's
Yes.
from Shreveport, moved away from Shreveport, spent time in bigger cities, spent
Right.
time in, you know, other continents, you know, and then, you know, I like, so to kind of parlay off that a little bit, I like your story a lot, Ashlee. I like listening to you talk. What you get all the time, but I'm not
Yeah.
speaking about the way that you speak, speaking about what you speak about.
Mhm.
I like your story about how a lot of people questioned your ability to think for yourself in the presence of a man that you were deeply in love with.
Yeah.
That you might have lost some kind of like spatial intelligence because you fell in love.
Oh, my sanity was questioned many times.
Yeah, and yeah. And like what does that say about a broader society that would question someone that is
Yeah.
just displaying genuine happiness as a woman? You know, can you explore a little bit about the experience that you had moving
Yeah,
basically across
yeah.
the world?
I mean, mine and my husband's story is a little bit unusual. So we met online and we were very good friends and best friends, really. We're both in very similar situations where we're both recently separated from our ex-spouses. Both had children around about the same age. He has 2 boys, I have 2 girls.
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah, the Brady Bunch, yeah. And
Those kids
yeah,
are great and
so
hardworking.
They are,
They are. I
yeah,
love
they're
them.
amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were best friends and we would be on the phone like every single day. And then it turned into more romantic. And then eventually, I didn't tell my family about him. I didn't tell my family that he existed at all until like a few days before he was due to fly out. And I kind of said to my sister, is this guy that's coming over? And she was like, he could be an axe murderer. What's wrong with you? And that's basically like that was the whole view of my family. They thought that I was crazy. And when he came over, I think it was about 2 days in, he asked me to marry him. And then I told my family. And they were happy for me, but they were just a bit like,
Reticent.
are you crazy? Like, are you sure that you want to do this? And that's pretty much how it was. And then he went back and then he kept coming back. And then we got married the following year. And they were like, okay, so, this is serious. And then it was like, okay, we're moving to America. And they were like, really? Are you sure that's what you want to do? So, yeah, they didn't really take me seriously in any of it until I actually did it. I think it's just the kind of family I was raised in. They're very much a play it safe kind of family. And that's how me and my sisters have always been taught by my parents. So, yeah, they did think I'd lost my mind.
Yeah. Is it more of like a stiff upper lip environment?
Sorry?
Stiff upper lip environment?
Yes.
Yeah. Very
Yes,
stiff upper
yeah.
lip. You see my speech
And
impediment come
do you
through.
know what? A lot of people think it's a British thing. It's not a British thing.
No, it's a family thing.
It's
It's
literally
my
everywhere.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's how their parents were. And we were just raised in a family that's just not very emotional and we don't talk about our feelings and things like that. So, but yeah, we were, small town. Everyone stayed in that town, and my sisters are all still there, and still married to, very happy with their husbands anyway, and have children, and that's their life, and that's what they're happy to do. But I always wanted something a bit more,
Yeah. And it is more, an ocean is more. And you travel, there's planes and trains and cars.
Yeah, and I wanted to travel, and I always just felt there was, I was very unhappy when I lived in England and my life there, and I always just felt there was more for me. And then when I came here, and then we started developing the business, and kind of realized that's what I was missing, I needed that space, I think, away from them to spread out and do my own thing.
Would this industry exist for you the same back home that it does here in Shreveport?
No, absolutely not.
Well, that would be a significant thing that I'd love to touch on now.
Yeah.
The importance of our city, because me and Racheal and T Vokalz talk a lot on our show about the importance of Shreveport as a destination. One thing that T Vokalz will preach about, like his daddy, is constantly, we're on I-20. We should be one of the premier destinations in Louisiana. And when you look at that from a hemispherical perspective, when you're looking at like being in the middle of rainy Leeds, if you're not the Spud brothers, who's throwing jackets by the hundreds, would there be a grilled cheese food truck market where you're from?
Oh yeah, because so in England they call them cheese toasties.
Yeah.
So there would definitely be a market for that, because they love it, because it's comfort food, absolutely. But I mean,
would the culture as you have it here with Mr. Grilled Cheese and your truck and the way that you use social media, could you do that in where you were from compared to the city of Shreveport?
I could, but it wouldn't work as well.
Awesome.
It wouldn't work as well as Shreveport. And I think that like the Brit Bakehouse is what started it all. And being British, it was kind of our selling point, to bring people in. And those people kind of, they tried our food and they stayed with us. But I wouldn't have that in England, because everyone's British. They don't care,
Yeah, no. Well, I'm going to give Racheal a moment to talk with T Vokalz and yourself. But I wanted to just touch on that for a moment. Personal branding and the importance of having a personal brand. It's Ashlee is British from the British Bakehouse. It's Racheal Squire's last name is Squire from the Squire Group. It's Brickmaster Cade of Go Build. It's T Vokalz of the T Vokalz Show. It's Dr. Jaya of the Wee Doctor. It's Chef Nima of Robinson. It's those personalities and names and brands in a city like this that start to revolve around each other and create an economy of, excellence. And then you can see the different derivatives of that, how the industry will just explode. In the last couple of years, the biggest thing in Shreveport is vending, food trucks, markets, events, things like that. It's just become a complete phenomenon culture. And I think it's impressive to see how you can navigate that, come in at the beginning as a baker, and then grow from a kitchen bakery to a, mobile bakery and food supplier. Now you're in Amazon. Yeah. Like you say it started as the Little Brit Bakehouse or the Brit Bakehouse, and you say little, like this just is but you're playing yourself down majorly, because now you're at Amazon.
Well, I mean, I started literally in my kitchen.
Yeah, and now you're
KitchenAid mixer.
Yes,
and that's how it started, with one tiny mixer, and it was just me and my kids kind of helping me now and again. But that's how it started, and we blew up, and it's crazy. And we did some really big events last year, and hoping to do the same this year.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, and I'm sure we're gonna have some big events.
Together.
So, I'm sure we're all going to get together.
Yes.
So something that you said was really, really like profound. You said that you didn't tell anyone about what you were doing until maybe like a few days prior.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've learned so many times in business is you can't share your vision and your dream with everybody. Not everybody can hold the vision.
Not everyone gets it.
And exactly. And so all these names that you're talking about, you don't see anything until they are putting it out. And it's because, again, if you have the wrong people in your corner, they will sink a vision so fast. You have to be so careful.
Or dissuade you. Say that's not going to work.
You have to be so careful. And so when you said that, I'm like, she's smart. Like you have to be so careful about who you would choose to allow in your corner. And when you let them in, because they have the power to make or break that vision.
Absolutely.
And think, so excited that you have a husband who's supportive and says, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And,
what are we doing now?
And because of his willingness to like support your vision, you've gone from the Brit Bakehouse to something like super astronomical. And you guys are really making a name for yourself in this community. And you guys are so it's like synonymous. And so it's all because of the one person that believes in you and you bringing them in at the right time and allowing you guys to work together to build that vision. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, and you did it from across the world.
I
And
know,
you were
5,000
fearless about
miles
it.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And nobody gets to where you are by playing it safe.
Wow.
You could have been like your family and your siblings and done what they did, and you tried it. It wasn't for you, and you weren't afraid to say, hey, I'm stepping out of this. I'm going to try something different.
You know, the funny thing about me is I've had anxiety since I was like a young child, like at one point crippling. And I was always afraid to try everything. And I was always, you know, really anxious and panic attacks and things like that. But for some reason, when it came to my husband, I just knew it was the right thing to do, as scared as I was. And I remember the first day we landed in Dallas, I remember nearly having a panic attack. Like, what have I done? But then once that kind of subsided, I was like, no, I'm in the right place. I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you had the general, I mean, we talk about all the time, we're animals. You know, you throw us in a new cage, we're going to freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, once you get comfortable in the iron bars, you're like, okay, life's a prison. This one has better amenities. This is Club Med.
Absolutely.
You know, send me where they send everybody else on the radio and TV. You know, I'm not going to Gen Pop. I'm going to Star Pop. But no, I don't know where the IRS sends people. No, I'm just kidding. That's my, yeah, but no, y'all, that's a joke. Making it so much worse for me. The judge is going to be like, play. But no, the truth is, guys, it boils down to like, I like what you said about protecting your access. And then also look at your access and what it's worth to people and what, you know, you can, you know, get out of it while giving someone else something. You know, you have to fill cups. You have to fill other people's cups. One thing about Shreveport that just kills me is that you'll see like entrepreneurs and business owners that love what someone's doing. Like, I think this is especially true in the food truck world. And then they they love an item and they'll walk up to your food truck. They'll even trade you for something off theirs. And they'll be like, this rocks. And then next week it's on their truck. Yeah. And you're like, that's crazy. For me, it's like, I don't think because we're podcasters, you know, I've been podcasting since I was 19. Vokalz has been podcasting and producing and drumming all over the world. You know, but producing content production, you've been performing, you've been making entertaining in front of people all your life.
Yeah, facts.
You know, so I've been on stage since I was a child. Honestly, there's sometimes where I'm like, I want someone else to play this role. Please, God, someone else be Ebenezer Scrooge for the third time for the middle school Christmas play. But, you know, because I'm sick of being Scrooge. Like, I can't be the ghost of Christmas past. I don't look like the ghost of Christmas past. Like, is like the ghost of Christmas past super, like, I don't know. I just wasn't. You know, but I also played, I'll tell a brief story about me. I played tennis for years in middle school.
Tell us about it.
2 years. So years. That was a long time for me to do a sport. That was like almost a decade in my brain. But, and I just noticed, I was like, tennis is the most uplifting sport on the planet. I was like, everybody that I play tennis with on the opposing team is so encouraging and so kind. And one of the interesting things about me and what I love about Shreveport so much is I went to one of the last remaining non-integrated neighborhood schools in Louisiana, which meant that I went to Broadmoor Middle Lab before it was integrated into a STEM and technology school. Well, before it was a STEM and technology school, it was a neighborhood school. We always play footsies. And before it was a STEM and technology school, it was a neighborhood school, which meant that it was a clever way for the district to push kids that looked a certain way into a school in a neighborhood while isolating them from the outer environment. So in the middle of Uri Drive in Ackerd, there's Broadmoor Middle Laboratory School that used to have a majority of African-American student population. I would say about 95.5%. Well, because of school integration, this wasn't identified through our Napoleonic school system until the late 2010s. And I noticed as a school kid going to school in a neighborhood school just 3 blocks away from Uri Drive, which was the majority white school, the difference in the quality of education of my neighbors. I went to a completely opposite school than my next door neighbor because of gerrymandering education districts, because of, you know, schools and how much money your family makes determines where you go to school in your neighborhood. Well, that was a clever way to push kids that looked a certain way into one school. And because my mom and my aunt worked at the school, I went to the school that they worked. But I would have never known the extreme difference I had in education because of my neighborhood and my address if it wasn't for having access to another kind of life. And when I was playing tennis, I was noticing that just because I did not look like my classmates, they outperformed me in tennis constantly. They were better at tennis than me. And I was wondering, why is everybody, my teammates, the opposing team, why is everyone so kind to me? they are kicking my ass. They should be making fun of me. Well, one day I get very close to the opposing team's coach, and I'm thinking he's probably going to say something about my weight, the way I look. You know, he's telling his team member to be nice to me. And I get closer and I get closer, and y'all, I sucked at tennis. And as I get closer, I realize these people have thought they were playing a special ed kid for years.
Oh, wow.
And I noticed
Oh, man.
it was horrible. You know, I noticed. Yes.
You had a helmet on?
Yeah. And I had convinced myself for years it was because I was a white kid in an all-black school. I was fat as hell and I sucked at tennis. And I was like, these people are smoking me. They're being so nice. They're just making me feel better. I got too close. The dude was straight up patting his back saying, you're so sweet to that kid. He don't know no better. And I was thinking, I'm that bad that they think I'm straight up, like, which is fine. I ended up becoming a special ed teacher. That might have been a pivotal moment for me. But it just goes to show you, if you treat everybody with kid gloves because you have assumptions about who they are or where they come from, you'll never know where they went to school. You'll never know what kind of food they eat. You'll never know who their parents are. And you'll never give them a chance because you'll automatically handicap them because they're bad or not as good at something as you are. You'll assume because of their color, their gender, their size, how handsome or pretty they are, that they're less or more capable than you because we just assume. But as soon as we stop treating each other with an assumed handicap and assume that we're hyper capable as opposed to handy capable, we'll have an extreme difference in how people treat us and the way that we treat ourselves. Because I lived in that truth that everybody was just super nice at tennis. I was like, this is the nicest sport ever. And then come to find out, like, you know, it was just because people were kind to me because they thought I needed it. And as I've become an adult, I see so much less of that. It's incredible.
Wow.
I was like, I wish somebody would just assume that I'm not good at this and be kind to me, instead of just assuming because I'm confident or because I'm funny or because I step onto the tennis court with the tennis racket in my hand, because I promise you I didn't play like I sucked. I was in there. I was killing it. I thought I was the best at tennis because everybody let me think that until I became an adult, and it didn't shift from let's lower this and still make everybody feel okay. It became let's crush this and let's make this person never want to step on a tennis court again. And I think that's what being a food truck owner and being an event coordinator and an event center can look like sometimes, you know?
I agree
and
with
I
that.
just think it's just horrible that we can live in the same place and have the same neighbors in the same neighborhood, and society will still find a way to district us into boxes and tell us we're not capable.
Yeah.
But it's not true. So what have you seen, you know, in our general community? I mean, how have you come up against that kind of opposition, Racheal?
As far as,
You know, just feeling, I feel constantly I'm not welcome in my space. I have imposter syndrome bad. You know, how as a woman do you fight, which I'm sure is constant, imposter syndrome?
well, you know, I've actually come to terms with that quite a bit over the last like 6+ months. I had won the Minority Business Award through the Chamber of Shreveport, and I couldn't even accept it because I let other people's opinions about me kind of dictate how I felt about myself.
Wow.
And I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like maybe they were wrong, or maybe I made a mistake, or, you know, like it just didn't feel like I earned it, even though I did. And I worked really hard for it, but it just, you know, people can't see what goes on behind the scenes, and they don't know the work that goes in. They just see the pretty polished thing on the front end. And, you know, like I had to be reminded while I was going through the process, like, hey, I did this. Like I had to go through and like list off all of the things that I had done to get to where I was. And then I was like, wow, like that was actually like way more profound than I thought, because I'm so close to it. I can't always see it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Like I get lost in like the day-to-day stuff, and, you know, I lose sight of everything that it took to get there. And so, I mean, the imposter syndrome, I mean, it comes and goes in waves. Sometimes I feel, you know, like, again, I'm not good enough. But again, that's just like voices and things that I've heard throughout my life of being silenced or feeling like I don't have a voice.
Come on.
And now I'm in a place where I get to decide what that voice says. I get to decide who I am. And like 2026, I told my husband, because he asked me, he was like, what's the end game with going on the podcast? What's the end game with trying to audition for, you know, the women's podcast? And I said, when's it gonna be my turn? have always served everyone. Everything I do, it comes from a place of serving, a servant's heart. Like the Squire group After Dark, I am constantly serving other people. I will literally give you everything.
It's true.
And I'm wondering, like, when's it my turn?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so, like, I'm trying to find my voice, and I'm trying to find ways to, like, step out and let other people know that they too have a voice. And again, like, our whole platform is a springboard.
Come on.
Like, I want everyone to come in and, again, like, have that moment of recognizing and actualizing, realizing, like, that goal and that vision. And I want to be a part of it. And I want to, like, hype them up. I would say I'm, like, the biggest hype queen. But, I mean, it just, it's very interesting trying to navigate. I mean, giving someone something that I don't always have for myself. And it's tough. So
Wow.
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Yeah. No, I relate. No, I know. You're gonna.
Thank you for being transparent. Yeah. And also too, man, crowd on this set. Hey, let those emotions out, because that's what it's about. You know, because we all go through. We go through, and sometimes we feel like, man, we doing all this, man, but can I get a pat on the back? Can you even say thank you? Can you even say, man, I'm proud of you, keep going? You know what I'm saying? So I tell everybody, pray for your strong friends.
Just because they're strong doesn't mean they don't need it.
Come on, right, facts, right. And I know you're a strong person, you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, you always, making sure everybody else straight, so that you definitely are a strong friend. So y'all continue to pray for us and pray for strong friends, because they need it too as well, So yeah, much love to you. Much love. Yeah. Yes.
And it Racheal, but it's true, because I even see, like, I heard, or me and Ashlee in our, pre-conversation over the phone, she was like, who am I going on with? And I sent her the PDF, and she's like, Racheal Squire, I've seen her at everything, everywhere. And when I think it's the same. I think maybe our social medias put us in this, like, weird algorithm. Like, we're all the small businesses in the same city. They're showing it to each other, so they can't show it to no customers. That's how they justify us paying for Facebook ads, because we all see each other's stuff. But it also just goes to show you, like, what does it cost to go through every couple of days? I go through T Vokalz page and I heart everything.
Appreciate you.
So it increases on the feed. I go through Squire group every couple of days and I leave a comment here and there. Not everything, but I'll like. So it boosts in my friends' algorithms. Right. Like, I'll go on Mr. Grilled Cheese, or I'll just put
me too.
Just heart.
And I'll tell you, since the heart emoji came out, I don't use a thumbs up ever again.
Yeah, because why not love?
I'm loving everything.
Yeah, because why not love? And what does it cost? Okay, I went through a crisis last week, a crisis of identity, and you could probably relate to this more than we can, because y'all aren't. No, you can, because you've started doing it too. Y'all, I, last week after our Bears podcast, made the cardinal mistake. I'm not going to do it. If I do it, it'll be for our paid sponsors for GBLA on the Lego page. I'm done doing the @followers highlight for my post, because I get the most flack about.
Oh, really?
Did you see me comment on someone else's post?
No, not you. No, did you at me though?
No,
because
it's like
Listen, constant.
I don't do the @highlight. I don't do the @followers. Like, I believe in, like, organic things, and I'm like, if I'm meant to see it, it's going to come across my feed.
Yeah. No, well, it wasn't you. It was a completely side. It was a completely separate post that someone in the community made, and I was like, oh my God, like, I'll never. The worst part is they work there. I was like, I will never, or not there, I will never, it's like, you will literally send someone work to their job and they'll be like pissed. And I'm like, how, when you work for tips? That doesn't make sense. Why is this community not, like, helping each other? Why, but I see, and that's probably also annoying, because I post 1 million times a week on Facebook, but it's also like, that's something you could Google. Like, you don't need to ask your feed, how do you turn off the @followers @highlight function? Like, Google it. We're in a world of AI, lady. Like, Google it. And then it's like, so you circle back, and it's like, if you don't want to take the 2 seconds to support someone, just mute it.
Yeah.
Don't go out of your way to hate on them, because you will make yourself look like such a jerk.
Yeah.
When it's like, okay, it's like, Google it.
Yeah.
For real. Because you just put yourself in this circumstance where you're like, now you've created this, and you don't know what you do. And I do it all the time. I'm sure I do it constantly to people on red carpets when I'm interviewing them. I'm like, that's a crazy fit. And they probably think for a week, like, I worked really hard on my red carpet outfit. And I might have said one thing about their tie, and they'll think about it for months. And next time they see me on red carpet, they might not want to talk to me. But it's stuff like that. It just plays over in my mind. Like, I have full-blown crises over other people's opinions. And then it's like, why? Because my work is great. And it's like, T Vokalz can probably empathize with this because when you do social media partially for a living, it can, like I even told the group chat the other day, I'm sure you saw it because it was after that, because I was having a crisis. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I'm really upset. Like, I feel like people are super annoyed by me right now. And I was like, so I just texted our GBLA group chat and I was like, y'all can like definitely mute this. I was like, this is so we know like what's going on. Like, you know, you are participating in this, but it's definitely by choice. And you know, like and I know some people are older and less tech savvy, but like I will help you. Like I will send you detailed instructions on how to mute the chat. Like I understand. So I think my problem a lot is I just feel as doing social media just makes me feel obnoxious and annoying. And I'm like, but how else is my business going to grow in a social media landscape? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. It just, for me, it's like, it's constant. It's constant. I feel judged for it, but I'm like, it's my only way to make it in the world.
I never felt about doing the @followers. I don't know why. I didn't know we were supposed to feel bad about it.
No, I don't. I didn't feel bad about it until I was like, I don't know. Like, it's like sometimes I'm just promoting things basically for free. And then you're like, but Racheal probably feels the same way. You know, she gives away like 50% of what we would typically charge for an event. And then they come in and they nitpick everything. And it's like, but we're doing our best to just give you what we can at the rate that we can because we're trying to break in, not even.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to break into a sector. We're not trying to blow it up. If we wanted to make $1 million in our first year, we'd commit a crime.
Right, facts. Yeah.
I'm seriously fraud.
Yeah.
Straight
You know,
fraud, yeah.
it's like, but yeah, thank you, fraud. Because people don't understand like the length that you have to go to make everybody happy. You know, there's 20 Racheal Squires in my club. There's 25 Ashlees. There's 15, you know, bakers, 2 event coordinators. But if everybody feels like they don't get a little piece, you know, you're going to walk away and upset somebody. So you just have to treat everybody with kindness. And if you have, it's like, what did our mom say? If you don't have anything nice to say,
Don't say
say
anything
it
at
at all.
all.
yeah. So like for me, it's just like, I think that's what our women's show would be about. Like it would be about just getting us on. Yeah, but when we're on the set, like when y'all are on the set, me and T Vokalz will be sitting back popping the popcorn because it's like, let it be, you know, either, you know, come to someone and say, this bothers me, or just mute them. You know, look at your life like social media now because it's so pervasive. Just turn someone off for a little bit and come back later and see if it's improved for you personally.
Yeah.
And if it hasn't, readjust at the moment. But don't just knock someone off your mental register because they've bothered you.
So it's so funny you're saying that. So if you think about like relationships and stuff, a lot of times no one says anything until they're at their breaking point.
Come on.
And I mean, it's like
Say something in the beginning.
you're gonna get mad at me, but you've been holding on this for 6 months, and now you're blowing up at me. I could have fixed this 6 months ago if you just told me.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a very similar thing. And it's like instead of them being proactive, they just wait until they can't handle it and then explode because you've given them a reason, which is the same reason every time. But again, like it doesn't match. And it's like, well, I'm not really responsible for that when you didn't even say how you felt.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's what I love. One thing about, and I have a question for Ashlee, but that's what I love about our relationship. Because one thing about us is because we do such different things, but they coordinate so well together. It's like literally everything I do or everything Racheal does, she's like, could you find a way to fit yourself into this? And you know, and it just same with T Vokalz. Like T Vokalz grabs me, like when we're downtown especially, just grabs me and pulls me onto his mobile set. Because it's like there are those friends in the community that you don't even have to worry about. Like this morning, I wasn't thinking I had, you know, it's been a while since I had, you know, the ability. So I was like, this morning, I didn't even think we were doing our Rhino breakfast order. And I was like, T Vokalz, do you want the same thing? Like just because I could today and I couldn't last week, but I would have if I could. And it's that kind of mentality that the more that we start to grow, if we just would invest in each other as much as we invest in ourselves, I think it will take longer. It will take longer for our businesses to make us millionaires. But when we're all millionaires together, we'd be so much happier, I think, because we'd have the community.
Then the next generation will even go up smoothly because we're able to financially help them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this: if I want God for me to be a blessing, If you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, for sure.
And you have to receive those blessings to put yourself in a position to bless other people.
Facts, right,
Yeah.
right.
And I find myself, and Ashlee, you might have some insight on this, not as receptive to the blessings that might be coming to me because I'm so guarded. Yeah. I'm like so shielded by my own. I'm just so, this might be relating to you because you mentioned that you've had anxiety since you were a child.
Yeah.
And you would take opportunities away from yourself for your fear of fear.
Oh, I sabotage myself.
Wow.
Completely sabotage myself. There was, I wouldn't let myself be happy, or I wouldn't let things happen for me because I was too afraid.
Yeah. You just feel afraid.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I've gotten over that mostly now. I think the older I've gotten, I think I care less as well. I certainly cared about everything, but even now I still, overthink everything. And my husband kind of, he kind of, what's the word? He kind of stabilizes me a little bit, and he'll kind of ground me and just be like, no, and he'll be the voice of reason when I'm going crazy and I'm thinking the world's against me and everyone hates me and everything's bad and I'm rubbish at this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I know that is a feeling that we can probably all relate to. Just feeling, I think it's a slight paranoia from being a self entrepreneur for working for yourself, owning yourself. You are your brand.
Yeah.
Well, and also like being in the spotlight. And I can't tell you how many times that paranoia is actually accurate.
You know,
I hate saying it, but it's true. There are times
you
where
don't
people
fear
really,
it, but you were in the beginning like us.
Yeah, I've never been paranoid when it came to that for some reason. I guess it just started me when I was a child, being a drummer, 7 years old, but playing with older people.
Yeah.
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 So it was almost like, oh, that's the golden child.
Well, for me, it was
know,
the
so-
opposite. As an actor, I was hyper critiqued by the older contemporaries. A gifted drummer as a child is something to look at and keep special. No child is as good as the next child actor.
Facts, right.
And that's how you develop a child actor. And that's not the right way. I'm not saying it's right, but that's how I was developed. That's why I'm hyper capable at public speaking. Not that I don't have the paranoia. It's just that I have the coping skills.
Yeah.
I was given as a small child. I worked for the largest entertainment corporation in America. I worked for Disney as a child. I worked for Destination Imagination for 2 years in middle school, which is a company that trains children actors. My specific job was character training. So I would train children on how to maintain their face on stage, how to maintain stage presence.
Look at you, man.
Never complain, never explain. You have to perceive yourself as the audience is perceiving you during the performance from a third person perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way you can tailor your experience to your specific audience's needs. As a comedian, I'm not going to do the same set for every audience if they're not laughing in the beginning of my set. And as an actor, we have to pivot and prepare for when you get on stage, you have a different audience. When you're doing a comedic play, when that audience is supposed to laugh. And you can pivot in your behavior and your character when you know that the audience didn't laugh the way that you anticipated them laughing. So you need to fix your character's tone and its perception from the audience. And I think that specifically forged me to go through life hyper perceptive of an audience. But if it wasn't for Destination Imagination and working in such a high pressure environment, traveling, speaking to other children actors, being that person that's constantly being told that, look at that guy, do what he's doing, it put me in a position looking at those other kids of assumed superiority, which is not true. But it shows me as an adult now, when I'm out of that environment, when I'm not the head honcho, that it doesn't matter.
No.
You just have to be kind and teach everything that you know to everyone that can receive it and not turn it as a weapon against you. It's like, we bring up the Bible a couple times. It's not the Bible specifically, but our faith, but in the word it is specific, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And you look at it from that perspective, and then you see that like God was not punishing me by giving me that unique experience as a child. He was forging me to do what I'm doing today and will do forever. But I would have let all of those preconceived notions of not being good enough or not being as good as the other actors stop me, or do what most typical child actors do and spiral, but I chose to just do something different, to pivot. I haven't been on camera. I haven't done a movie since 2018. And it just, as an adult, one thing that I regret majorly is my mom made me change one of the letters in my last name growing up. So a lot of my stage credits, I don't have an IMDb. I don't have a way to look at my formal works because my name was changed to protect my identity as a child. And
Oh, wow. Really?
And it was with an N. So because my name is Worley, it was spelled O-R-L, and the R and the L were turned into an N. So everybody called me in stage or on film if I was being credited on a bill to protect my anonymity, because my mom saw that if I chose not to be a child actor, I could always find the footage and market it myself, which is what I do now. I have 10 years of footage that I can release over the next 10 years to solidify my Google algorithm as someone who grew up as a child actor, but I can release that strategically because I own my own content.
Nice. Bro.
As opposed to someone whose name could have been Googled and his image could have been exploited from 10 to 18. In fact, when you Google CADEWONEY, you would have to dig back further to find credits where I'm listed in the biography of a YouTube video. You know, I'm not listed anywhere as an actor to protect myself. I got all the skills, I got all the cash, I got all the goodness, I got the community connections, you know, but there was no way to find me and exploit me. And I think as business owners, we have to step out as adults and immediately start exploiting ourselves. Like, you have to be so open and give everybody, all of you. And I think being a performer as a child steeled me for that. But I don't know how you ladies open up and give yourself to everything when you weren't raised like that, when you weren't raised in a high pressure cooker, you know, saying you need to be ready. You know, I will throw fits all morning, Eva will tell you, and then I'll be ready for this show because it's just how I operate. Like, it used to piss directors off to heaven because I would torture everyone. And then I would get on stage and I would just kill it. And they'd be like, shit, that guy sucks, but he's good. I think sometimes if you lead with just not sucking and you're just good and you don't suck, you'll have so many doors open for you. And it literally took me to being 18 years old and protecting myself my whole life to being like, no, I'd like to stand on this body of work, but I was not ready. I was so fearful, Ashlee. I was like you. I lived in crippling anxiety. But there was no reason to because my work stood for itself, like your sandwiches, like your events. I looked at that picture of that event you did a couple weeks ago, the silver, I don't know, it was a masquerade ball.
Oh, it was a private event, actually. It was a Christmas party, and it was a masquerade. It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was exceptional. We want to see live Nard Media Group shows produced on, you know, in a level. I'd love to see. I keep seeing, like, I don't know why. I think we're getting, in this year, we're going to have chairs, like, and
live audience.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely can. You know, I have one of my podcasts that I do live audience. So that's definitely I would love to do because that's the reason why I do these podcasts, because I want these podcasts to turn into syndicated shows. And they're coming from Shreveport, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And that's super in alignment with what we were talking about doing. We're getting ready to shoot a commercial for our After Dark space. And Cade and I have been in contact because Mark and I were talking about creating our own kind of podcast, show, whatever it is. And I was like, you know what? I was like, we have the space. We should have a live studio audience. I said, nobody's doing it here in town. Yeah. Nobody. And I mean, we met you. Like, I mean, I don't know if we met you before or after that concept came, but but it was somewhere around the same time. And I was like, we now have all of these people that we know that may be interested in something super groundbreaking here. Because again, nobody is doing it. And how cool would it be to be like in a live studio audience and listening to things and have like Q&A and you know?
Yeah, and have that network here in the South. Yeah, like be that Southern Entertainment Network.
And that's what I did too. Like with Q&A, I definitely I wanted just something because we don't have anything here in Shreveport that you can go to on a weekend and email them and say I would love to have tickets to come to and they give you tickets and you get to sit in the audience. You just never know who's
and like for example, we have things like so today where Mr. Cody on the set is going to bring us a piece. When we have a live studio audience, there are going to be opportunities for cool business owners. It's going to be more than just coming on and talking. Yeah. You can see the product, experience.
Promote your business.
Yes. Yeah. And with what's going audience. On. Give them a piece of your king cake. You know how much... I think that's a takeaway that people are going to tell their friends, like, you have to go see that show live. There was music, there was a bartender, the guests brought on king cake, everybody got a piece of king cake. I want it to be very, you get a car, like check under your seats. Yes. Like I want it to be like daytime television again. And I think Nard Media Group is the only thing in Shreveport that's providing that kind of platform, because you can see in the nightlife content that's promoted and produced that if you were to apply that syndicated daytime television, bring all those people a couple times in a week, film their show, syndicate it. There's no reason that in a couple months we don't start off on Roku streaming, Pluto. Right. We need to look into Live Tubi channel. We need to start looking into those kind of like streaming, which Nard is doing. But Vokalz is looking at that kind of stuff to position us in 2026. When you turn on your Roku TV at home, when you hit Pluto Live, yes, sir. We're selling content ads, with you know, next to MTV, next to Comedy Central, you know, is going to be Nard Media.
Well, no more
television.
MTV, no more, man. It's
Oh, I heard. Yeah, I heard.
I'm sad about that guy.
Yeah. Well, did you have MTV growing up?
MTV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just
Come
fooling
on,
with you.
yeah.
I was just
Especially
messing with you.
The UK was definitely MTV.
Yeah, we had MTV.
Yeah, that was And that's
Again,
and that's
just
what,
fooling. I know she's
Yeah.
not.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Like back in the day, like kind of like the late '90s, going into the early 2000s, MTV. I remember watching a lot of things from the UK, even bands from the UK on MTV. So I kind of started to like, I like UK. I definitely want to go over there because of MTV. Being worldwide, but also too being impactful in UK too. So yeah, for sure.
And obviously, because of the international airwaves, you grew up listening to everything that we did, you know, and then there are things that we listen to that you don't know and things that you listen to that we would never know.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that, like, I'd love to compare iPod playlists. That'd be fun and stuff like that on the women's show. Like I'd love for y'all to like as a group, like go through your like most embarrassing group text or like, you know, like the women's show should be fun. It should be like a place for women to come on and like, you know, talk about their most embarrassing first date story. And like, not that everything is boiled down to stuff like that, but I would love to see like this just introduction in Shreveport.
Just women talk.
Just fun. Just like we say this all the time and The View is going to sue me eventually. But think The View Shreveport, you know? And the one thing about me is, you know, it's a damn good idea when I don't want to be on the television screen, when I don't want to be on it, because, you know, that little child actor in me is like, oh no, I can do that. You know, like I can Miss Doubtfire the shit up out of a women's show, but I don't have to when I, you know, have an executive producer like Tommy and we source the right women. It would just, it's a good idea when I don't want to do it, because I'll do any straight to DVD slop me throw at me. I really will. I did a film when I was a teenager about being a camper. My role in the script was fat kid. So, it was like, it wasn't even a fat camp movie. It was just a camp movie. I was just fat kid, but that's okay. I tell this one more story before we eat our king cake, about sports growing up. You know, I was always
sports?
No, I used to swim. My mom let me do swim for a year.
You did tennis, bro. That's sport. That's a sport.
And you never would have known that the shirt was optional. Everybody told me that was 100% a requirement. I was looking at the other kids. I was like, my mom told me I had like a skin condition. I couldn't be in the sun. I was like, can somebody just be honest? I have boobs. I was like, what is going on here? I was like, put me in a trainer and let me
Not
swim.
man boobs.
Okay,
Man
guys.
boobs.
Well, let's make them worse. Cody. And Ashlee, when we eat, I want you to tell me more about the process, the product, what we're looking at, where to find it. And I've seen lately on your social media, your orders have just been going through the roof.
Yeah.
The roof.
Sometimes a lot of support is a lot of,
I've had to put, like, last year we made 600 king cakes during the whole season, and we were supplying to stores and restaurants.
600?
600. And this year I had to put a limit on it because the food truck took off. We can't do both. Like, and it was, I mean, last year we were up till like most nights 2 a.m. boxing and decorating king cakes ready to go out, you know, at 7 a.m. the next morning. We can't do that anymore. So we're doing limited amounts that people can still have the king cakes, but I can't do 600 again like last year.
Have you hired a courier?
We did have someone last year who was doing all the deliveries. A lot of people pick up deliveries here, and a lot of people will come to where we are as well, like our events, and they'll just say, hey, I'll pick it up from the hospital or wherever. So it's we don't need a courier this year so far.
Okay. Well,
we did last year though.
Well, let's check out what all the hype is about, huh? Okay.
I definitely want to know what about this hype. So
we've got husband, producer.
Come on in,
Saki, come on in, dude. You've been on this set before.
Yeah, bring it.
This is Mr. Grilled Cheese
This
himself.
is grilled cheese, y'all. Yeah.
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Grilled
Thank you.
Cheese. This is beautiful.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Look at this, guys.
The smell. The scent.
Smells like king cake.
Smells like sugar.
No, that means smells good. Oh, take that gum, hubby. Guys, we are about to switch camera so we can all see us. We are going to open that up and show that to the camera in just a minute. Look at guys. Oh, look at Mr. Grilled Cheese, guys. Looking so good on
Otherwise, he's got
camera.
the number on the back of the shirt, just advertising himself.
Oh yeah, got to all the time.
You could literally come and just let it be. Just sit here for a second with it. I'm just kidding. Just
Oh yeah,
show-
this is very good.
This is
Ashley,
awesome.
you did your big one on this one, girl. It's good.
Oh, thank you. it's very cold because it's freezing outside today.
For
So
sure,
it was in
yeah.
our car, and I was like, we need to put it in the microwave.
It's all good.
But the flavor profile is exquisite. I love, guys, every time I do a food read, I'm like eating it so hard I can't even talk about it because it's
No,
so
you're
good. I really like the way that the cream cheese maintains its texture. Like a lot of king cake, thank you. A lot of king cake just immediately becomes, the icing on top becomes either spongy or it breaks apart. Like you almost get
Like
that
a glaze.
like an old cake glaze, like kind of like more of a donut. Like you have
Yeah.
a sugar break. I don't like a sugar break on my icing. I love like a creamy, very fulfilling, smooth, rich icing. I love the way that you use the crystal sugar though. It creates like a great texture balance.
Yeah, I like
And
the color.
yeah, and the cinnamon mix in the middle is just perfectly done. It tastes like a cinnamon roll. How do you get it? How do you get the texture of a cinnamon roll in the middle of the king cake, which is typically dry?
Because it's a cinnamon roll recipe.
You're kidding.
Nice.
So a lot of people
I kind of tweaked it to make it more. So I was trying like the king cake recipe, and I was like, this is just basically a large cinnamon roll, and so I tweaked it so it's basically a cinnamon roll recipe.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah. A lot of people take the typical cinnamon roll recipe and reduce the sugar and cinnamon content to make it more of a bread. This is like embracing its history as a cinnamon roll bun.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's
Come on, food
we don't need
critic.
the sugar.
No, I mean, because the classic Louisiana taste is there, but you're not sacrificing any of your integrity as a baker. You know, like I think a lot of people throw their king cakes together and they do like a simple like sweet dough roll. And they do the cinnamon swirl in the middle, but the way that you blended the complexity of the actual
right.
cinnamon roll recipe, the sweet bun, with the king cake, aesthetic, just makes, because it appears it is a perfectly aesthetic king cake, but then what do we sacrifice for aesthetics?
Yeah.
Taste.
I mean, I like that
You
everyone does
haven't-
it different
Yeah.
because during king cake season, everyone's going to try different king cakes. So each time you try it, it's not like you're trying the same cake when you go to a different place. Like, I've been to, is it Julianne's and
Yeah.
Louder, and I
Uh-huh.
love theirs as well. Those
Yeah.
are really, really good. And I like that they're different from each
They,
other.
they are right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
guys,
are.
and just like listen, like to the bottom of the crust. Like this is the firm bottom crust, and then this is the cake.
Mm-hmm.
No sound. And then y'all, it's just fantastic. This is like
Dissect it, bro.
this is
This
this
just
is
dissect
this
it.
is great king cake. But I'm a tough critic. Owning a Mardi Gras crew kind of makes you a little bit of a tough critic
Yeah.
about
And,
king
and
cake.
tell them about your Mardi Gras crew.
Guys,
'Cause
well,
it is Mardi Gras season.
yeah,
so
it's our
yeah.
first year. So
Yes,
go
talk
yeah,
about it, bro.
The Go Build crew. I mean, we are growing
I'm a sponsor.
so much faster. Racheal's a sponsor too. And the Brit Bakehouse, I'm sure, and Mr. Grilled Cheese will sponsor as well at some point because we want everyone to be, we want everyone to be involved. The thing about our Mardi Gras crew is our top tier sponsorship, which is just insane, is $80. Gemini's lowest tier, Centaur's lowest tier, Highland's lowest tier starts in the multiple of hundreds, and it shows you, other than for tickets to specific events, it shows you how inaccessible Mardi Gras has become because Mardi Gras crews have stopped offering incentives socially.
Yeah.
Like a Mardi Gras crew should be a place to come grow your business, give your friends kiddos, like give your friends kiddos a community, like your kids have friends, and it should be a place to like grow and gather. And I think what makes Go Build so cool is because it's centered around our businesses. And it's kind of an entrepreneur's crew. Like it's a crew for growers, not a crew for establishment. And I think the thing about Shreveport Mardi Gras is it's a very established company. It's like a very established big business. It's like $1 billion industry, not billion, but it's $1 million industry
Yeah, it's up there.
in Shreveport. It's $1 million industry Mardi Gras
Yeah.
that season. So, getting in on that just a little bit and then making it all about parents and kids, and then also providing a platform, not just a status, is really important to me. I think giving people like you, Cody, Racheal, Mark, Caitlin from Copeland's, Colton Johnson from Bears, those were all people that were engaging with our concept before we ever gave anyone the opportunity to support the mission that is kids playing Lego for free. And adults, We never thought that would be something that people care about, but I now see how it is good for your business to be associated with the company that does that. I didn't before. I thought it felt like a big grift. It felt like just a huge, like, great luck idea.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, I've just really nailed it. But then kind of like Racheal, like it was something I had to look at myself and acknowledge, like, no, actually, like, changed diapers for 6 years. You know, I played with Lego in a classroom since I was 17 years old until I was 23. You know, I taught, maintained social relationships, existed in society. All I'm doing now is giving people a little bit of the access that I've worked so hard to gain. And that's something that people in this city just have never seen. So it's working, you know? And I think that like stuff like this, just bringing you on and eating it. And the thing about it, we talk about all the time, this is not Go Build. This is just Good Morning Shreveport. But that's what we're trying to grow. We would love to sell, because I can sell 1,000 ads for Go Build, but then you get the, you know, you get the essential coolness of me making a video and posting it to my followers, which, yeah, sure, any business would pay for that. But coming on and connecting, eating the product, showing the product, being with other people, that is really unseen in Shreveport. Like, and it makes people mad uncomfortable to see. People would automatically assume you guys are enemies, not enemies, but you know what I'm saying? There's
love.
there's this like pitting against each other, or especially people like us. That would be what is mainly assumed.
Yeah.
They would think, why in the world would you stop producing on Cade Worley Radio and jump onto someone's network? You know, Tommy's never cut me a check for performing. Because why would I charge someone that's giving me a platform?
One day we will be, though. One day I will be able to.
You said something earlier and you called it exploitation, but really it's just leveraging what you have.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have things I don't have, vice versa. And it's just a matter of finding ways to like connect together, leveraging your resources so that everyone has maximum profitability or maximum exposure, maximum awareness. And so, like, I mean, it's really just about leveraging what you have.
Yes, but it took women like you. Really, it took women. Because I'm not cutting Mark down. I'm not cutting Cody down. But men are not the type, most men typically are not the type that are going to pull you to the side if you're in the similar industry at the similar level, CEO, executive, owner, and say, do you need anything, baby? Are you okay? Like, are you good? Racheal, from the beginning, the first time I met Ashlee, that feeling of care, like Ashlee sees me like over there. I've probably built with like 50 kids that have come through so far. And I like go up and I'm like, girl, I just need an espresso. How much do I owe you? Like, I've made it. I've sold a couple minifigures. I have the $5 bill. Like, here's a $5 bill. She says, you know, she sees the sweat on my face. She says, take your espresso, boy, and get back to your booth. It's that kind of culture at markets, at vendors, that will just like change everything. Because it's like you live that way, though. You like grab people like me, even 2 years younger, 3 years younger, 5 years younger. Not like y'all are old matronly queens. But like just to feel supported makes all the difference. Because like I was telling you, I felt like until I was like, me and Eva were saying the other day when we opened Mardi Gras sponsorships, and I told you all the other day, like I make money probably 3 times a year. Like winter, summer, spring, Mardi Gras, like I coordinate it, but I fight for goodwill throughout the year. So when I open it, people trust me. But it's like in the beginning, it was hard. It was hard. I never felt like I was worthy of that trust. And then we do it and we see, okay, well, 20 businesses are willing to sponsor, you know, and then that's going to change. That's going to grow into an empire. And those businesses that were here at the beginning are going to be on this network when it becomes the next big thing. And, you know, fees, prices, relationships, nothing has to change if we all get in on the ground together as equals.
As equals. I love that, bro. Yeah.
And I have one of my biggest pet peeves is people who don't support the vision.
Come on.
And don't want to support it when you're in the ground building, but you start making it and then they pop up out the woodworks. And I can't stand that. I'm like, no, like you didn't value what I brought to the table when I offered you a seat to sit with me, and you didn't want to sit because I didn't have enough to show you about, you know, like production or where we were going or whatever it is. You didn't believe in the vision. But now that you see a little taste of my success and you want to come along. And so like, it just, I'm not a fan of that. I'm like, so I love what you say about getting in on the foundation, because again, like you can't, you got to build with your people as it's being built and trust in that. Like people coming in on the back end, like, no, thank you. I mean, it doesn't scream that you have belief or faith, and it tells me that your commitment is fragile and that you're only committed when things are going well, you know? And
so when things go bad,
you'll be the first to fly. You'll be the first to disappear. You know, and we need people that are committed again to the foundation, to the mission, to the vision, to helping facilitate everything that we need to get to where we're trying to go. And again, that's why you can't let everybody in on your vision and where you're trying to go, because not everyone can hold it. Not everyone can have faith in it and trust and walk by faith, you know?
Yeah, and what me and T Vokalz talk about constantly is not everybody can do what you do either. So let them
True.
try. You know, I think you probably in your industry have seen some trucks or trailers start up within your time of business and then end before your time of business.
Yeah.
And I think it might be because someone might say, oh, Ashlee and Cody are doing it, but it's not by the seat of your pants.
No.
Come on.
You know,
right.
it's not.
It's a hard business as well, and it's a tough economy, and you know, food prices going up and down. It is really difficult.
Deflation,
And
yeah.
so the food truck business is not for the. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah, not for the weak.
And there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of not so nice people, and you know,
Yeah.
you come across these things, and I think it does scare people off.
Oh, I've seen on social media, I'm terrified to engage with food truckers.
Yeah.
Because like it's like worse than the paparazzi.
Yes.
Like that's like my version of the press is like food truckers. I'm like, do not piss a food trucker off because it will be like,
Yeah.
girl, I just can't explain it. I've never seen anything like it.
It gets very
It gets
catty.
really uncanny, and it gets very like impasse. Like it's like cutting deep. It's like y'all are crazy. This is one thing about food trucks though. As long as y'all taste good, y'all can park wherever you want to park. You can park in my front yard. But I think that, you know, speaking of cattiness, speaking of people not wanting you to succeed, I think that comes back to they might send, you know, someone that you don't know is related to them, someone that you don't know is in their camp. They might run over to your food truck and try what you have and, you know, report back to base camp and say, oh, that grilled cheese was hitting.
Oh, I've
you
had
know?
it happen a few times.
Yeah, that is a scary business. And then, oh, I can only imagine you are serving your food, and then the next thing you know, you look up across the parking lot, and the person that you just sold a grilled cheese is slinging grilled cheeses out of their food truck that was just selling jambalaya 30 minutes ago. You know, they ran to Sam's.
You know, a lot of food trucks get really mad about that, where they'll be like, "Oh, well, I was selling burgers, and now they're selling burgers." I'm like, "Well, you
It's
know, so is McDonald's, and so is Burger King and Chili's." But at the end of the day, if you're confident in your product, it shouldn't matter, because people don't just come to you for your food. Yes, the food's a good draw, but they come to you because of something about you, your business. Whether it's with us, I know that we're a family business and we have our children out there a lot, and a lot of people love that we work together as a family, and they want to support that, and they love, you know, the banter that they have is I don't know if banter's a word here, but like the, you know, the jokes that they have and the conversations they have with Mr. Grilled Cheese whilst he's on the grill cooking their food.
I love the way
So,
he can
yeah.
interact.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's something
Yes.
that not everybody has. So other trucks can sell grilled cheeses, and we're not going to be mad about it. And we're not going to post on Facebook and be like, oh, they're selling grilled cheeses. You know, we're just like, okay, good luck to them.
Yes,
We'll
the
do what
Facebook
we
kills me.
do.
The Facebook will
Yeah.
destroy your business.
Yeah, we'll do what we
Yeah.
do, and you do what you do, and that's okay. Like that, you don't have to. Doesn't have to be a war over it.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and it shouldn't be. It's not
No.
Xbox and PlayStation.
No, it's not. But some people can get very nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, very
Well,
nasty.
that's what I love about you guys, and you just rise above it.
Yeah.
One thing that I've seen about, and so touching on the family business and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, keeping your safety in mind and
Yeah.
everybody's privacy very forefronted.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that you are village minded. I've seen many times, you know, this is, you know, without saying too much, you are such a good friend and neighbor. One thing that I love about Ashlee is the first couple times that I saw Mr. Grilled Cheese out, I was like, damn, girl, you got some kids. She was like, oh no, that one's the next door neighbor. That one's a friend from soccer practice. They're just chilling with us for the weekend. It's like constantly family revolving around you.
We do. My daughter's best friend literally lives across the road. And ever since she came over and introduced herself, she hasn't left.
I know,
She's
I
there on
love it.
Christmas
I love
Day.
it.
She's there on Thanksgiving. She comes and gets a second plate on Thanksgiving. She has a bag of presents on Christmas Day. And she's just with us, you know, and her parents trust us, and
Yes.
she can be with us, and they're inseparable. They're probably going to go off to college together. They've already planned the cats that they're going to have together, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just, I never had that growing up. I was never allowed to have friends over. My parents are very
Yeah.
strict. So I want to be the parent who's like, bring your friends over, go swim in the pool.
The
And I
open
mean,
mom.
during summer, the neighborhood kids are all in our pool. You'll wake up in the morning, 7 a.m., and there's like neighborhood kids in our pool with my daughters and, you know, my sons. And as much as I like grumble about it at the time, I'm glad that they feel safe to do that.
Yes,
You know?
your place, your house is the
Yeah,
house. That's a
yeah.
great feeling.
Yeah, I love that.
And you're the cool mom. They're like, oh, we gotta go listen to her mom talk.
well, I do bake things for them.
Yeah, no, yeah, and you just could sit there, and
Yeah.
you and Cody could do grilled cheeses and chat
Yeah.
with them and make them feel loved and included. And
Yeah.
I think that's what someone feels walking up to your truck. that and what they feel coming into Squire and hopefully what they feel when they walk up to a Lego table is just love and inclusion. Yeah. And I know that's what we talk about all the time. People are kind of like, they're like, I walked onto this set and I was expecting to be totally nervous.
Right.
No.
Well, you probably hear that all the time.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
expect to
yeah.
just be incapable.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're
I
like, they're
felt that
thinking,
the same time. The first time I came on, I was like, I'm gonna be
Yes.
so nervous, and I sat down and I was like, I wasn't nervous at all. That
Yeah.
was like just chatting with friends.
And that's how it's supposed to be. I feel
Yeah.
like any podcast. I hate saying interview. I like to say conversation.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's just the term, you say podcast interview, you know what I'm saying? But yes, it's a conversation with me. And the ambience of this space, the feel when you walk in, it has to be enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, it's hard when you see these lights. You kind of it's just like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
You freeze up and things like that. So I feel like because of his personality, my personality, and it makes people open up, even more. So yeah. So that's what I like about it.
And the cool thing about that mix is like, even Racheal the other day, because Tommy texted me and said, will you help me produce a women's show?
Yeah.
And like immediately I screenshotted it, I sent it to Racheal and I said, will you get it on the ground with this? Like, because as a producer, I'll bring my one girl, I'll source, someone else that works with our cast, we'll find our cast. Tommy, all he's got to do is make one Facebook post. I mean, he'll have to go through, because as a producer, he wants to make sure they work on camera.
And thank you for all the people, the women that have.
That was
it's been
incredible.
overwhelming. Yeah.
That was
I probably have right now 60 women.
wow.
Not exaggerating, that has reached out. They say, hey, I would love to audition and be a part of what you got going on. So because of that, I'm going to do 6 women now.
Wow.
Instead of 4.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna do 6
And I'm
women.
hoping one of my picks, I want to see executive producer women.
Yeah,
I want to
it's-
see.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
want
be.
to.
Yeah, it's
I want to get.
and it's definitely gonna be multicultural women.
That's what I want
Yeah,
to see. I
most
want to see. I grabbed Racheal as my producer pick
Mm-hmm.
because
For sure.
we are similar in our business structure and mindset. We're like puppy dogs almost. Like we love. And every time we get kicked, we're like, oh. But like we just get up and chase the bone
Yeah, I was
again.
gonna say we keep coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just looking at a show of women, I need that elasticity socially. I need that kind of woman that can. And Ashlee, I'm seeing a lot of that in you, especially maybe in the food truck business, especially talking about the social media. If you can't come back from an uncomfortable conversation and say, we gotta work together, then like, why are we here?
Facts.
And that's what a lot of this is, sitting down, talking to you guys about what might be perceived as other business owners not wanting you in the space that you're in. And I kind of get on my soapbox a lot and talk about being like a weird fat kid in the past, but it's like, it's because that's how I relate to the world. I see myself through that kid that had a shirt on in the swimming pool that nobody thought was capable of playing tennis, as a child actor that never felt capable. I see the lens. That's the lens in which I view the world. So I wonder, because I'll never not be that little boy. So I wonder just how we can identify those little girls in the room and have them tell their story of how they became the women that they are today and then become friends. I'd love to see our talk show develop into Nard. We're thinking about, moving into television. There's no reason that Shreveport isn't producing reality television.
Facts.
Why do we not have a Real Housewives version like
I
show?
had New Year's Eve, Wade Marshall. We
Yes,
had him
yeah.
over for New Year along with some other close friends.
Yeah.
And we spent about 2-3 in the morning. We were talking about Shreveport and the like massively untapped potential that it has.
Yeah.
And I was saying, from someone from the outside coming in who
Yes.
hasn't lived here all their lives, like I'm very shocked that there's so much that still hasn't been done here.
Yeah.
And and he's talking about the plans and he works for the city and the things that they
Yeah.
want to do. But yeah, I'm surprised that they don't have like a Real Housewives of Shreveport. I'm surprised that they don't have TV shows being shot here all the time, and because
It's a mini Hollywood.
yeah,
You've got the
yeah.
personalities
It
for
has
sure.
its it has its bad sides, but if
But
you concentrate on that, that's all it's.
I've
gonna
got
be.
6 names. If he gave a television show to right now, we would have the major network in the South. Give me one. I'll be the baby. I'll be the least
But
rated.
since I feel like that we have had those, but because I've been a part of produced kind of a reality show, but the thing about it is people do not follow through.
You can't get those women in
It's
the same
almost-
place at the same
Yeah.
time. yeah.
Or it's almost like this too as well. We done film, but then it doesn't go anywhere.
Mm.
So we took 2 weeks to film,
Yeah.
and then y'all decide y'all not gonna even put it out.
Yeah, you're not proud enough of your own work because I
or
tell you
something
what.
happened, the sound wasn't right on it, or the quality, or you had the wrong videographer. You know what I'm saying? So that has happened before here, and so that's the reason why I made sure that I had all my stuff ducks in a row. Like no, I'm gonna do this right. We're gonna do it the right way, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't have all these things, but because I'm putting this out, this is live right now. People are watching right now, and then once we get done with this, they can continue to recycle this and watch it over and over and over and over and over. But we have had those type of shows here. They just don't follow through with them, and I just wish that people here in Shreveport, y'all start following through, but also too let people know that y'all have this going on, so Shreveport can support what y'all have going on. You know, especially if it's something that makes sense, like some certain stuff. No, I'm not gonna watch that because it's what are y'all even talking about?
But a group of women going throughout their lives as entrepreneurs, like there should be cameras following you to Amazon at 3:00 in the morning, then following you to a podcast, and boom, that's half an episode of a reality TV show. Yeah. And you do a couple of those things a month, and the producers know, and they follow you.
But they need to create the drama storyline.
Oh, I could do the drama. Me and Rachel could single-handedly.
So Ashlee, why is that? Why everybody have to have a drama?
Oh, well, that's what brings them in, isn't it? People like the Real Housewives. They want trash TV. They want to see women, having cat fights,
throwing water at each other and stuff like that.
And do you know what? There's enough of that in Shreveport, especially in the food truck.
Yeah, there should be. Why is there not like on
a food truck reality show?
Shut the front door. We're shooting a pilot in February.
Come on with it.
I'd be down for that.
You do so much, see so much, interact with so many. All we would have to do as producers is go source a couple crazy customers to walk up, and then we'd have boom, storage wars level content. Think like the birth of reality television, Pawn Stars, Storage Wars. What is something else in that vein? American Pickers, Dr. Miami on the internet. Like throw a couple crazy cast members in there. Like, Shreveport, we could do that in our sleep.
Just tap into some of the Facebook groups. You'll find some.
Yeah, like that's what the reaction that we see. Some of our stuff gets 1 or 2 posts, and then some of it gets like 1 billion because you don't know how many women are ready to come on a show about women until you post it. And then look, 40 women, 50 women, 60 women are saying, oh, I'd do that next week. Like sign me up, coach. Stuff like that. So we'd love to see more of that, like, straight up collaboration, and then women moving into other content spaces. Like, let's start with a talk show. Let's move into shooting reality pilots. That's something that you should engage NARD for. You should think about, talk to Mark, be like, what is our reality television show budget? Because I would produce it. I would help you get streaming rights. Tommy would fight for you to be on a network. We would do something like that major. We have to have the people that are willing to put trust in us. But I mean, who is waking up saying, I want to be the next Bethany Frankel? I want to be the next, Nene Leakes? Who's waking up and saying, I want to take something like small and be Portia Williams, make Go Naked hair? Like turn something. Those Real Housewives have turned their personal brands into $1 billion businesses.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And why, like that could be something. You should be booking events just so they can see themselves on your television show.
I thought about that.
For the first couple seasons. It's the same thing in your environment. Why are we not filming an episode a month in your space with the craziness of the meetings? Have those people say, we'll give you 25% off your thing if you sign this media release and let us argue you down a little bit on camera. And then pretend that they don't like something and that you're going to work it out. And then you're the benevolent event host that made it all come together by the end of the episode. And every episode is about which event. Like, and we can name it like, baby boomer shower. Like, because it's a mom who wants to plan her daughter's baby shower. And it's not about her, it's about the daughter. And then we throw those and then your event center is working for itself because it's Dr. Phil type TV.
Because they want to be on your show. They want to be on the show. So like, I'll book with them and I can be on the show. I'll be famous.
And then like, oh, my mom's obnoxious, so she's going to want to have something to do with my wedding shower. Then the episode's all about the mom trying to take over the wedding and Racheal threading the line between the daughter and the mom and still giving them a perfect event. And it all comes together at the Squire group at the end. Stuff like that. That kind of content should be being produced because we have the spaces, we have the personalities, we've got the base of extra, we got the people. I could go throw a rock downtown and hit some people that are willing to do this, and that should be what we're producing consistently. And that's where we're getting, that's what 2026 is looking like. But it took like the entire, he signed this lease. We're a year into the space now. 2 years or 1 year?
1 year.
1 year into the space now. So look what we've done in 1 year. This space will be the podcast set in a year, but the reality shows will be being filmed all over Louisiana. Indiana.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I see.
yeah. for
That's what
sure.
I see. You
Yes.
know. So y'all, thank y'all for coming.
Yeah.
You know, thank y'all for being
Enjoyed
here.
y'all. Yes.
Thank you for letting us talk to you and have a conversation with you.
And then y'all are
Non-interview.
family too, so because
Yeah.
this is not y'all first
Yeah.
rodeo on here, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all are both.
Yeah, y'all are family. So anytime y'all decided y'all want to come to 620 Texas Street, 3rd floor.
Yeah, your T
Come holler
Vocals
at us, yeah.
and Nard Media Group contributors.
For sure.
Your
Yeah. I
contributors,
appreciate y'all. Yeah.
You know.
Just seeing a bigger it's a bigger picture than
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. And that's why I love when people do come on, they see what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want us to have a platform for us to be safe on and just enjoy ourselves, but also to be verbally open about what we have going on and about life. You know, because everything is not Gucci and gold.
No.
And I hate when people throw that perception on Facebook because you have some people that are small minded. They think that's how life is. Oh wow! And then now they wonder why their life is not it is. And then they're in the rut because they see this on TV or they see this on social media. But no, it's just a perception.
Yeah, there are a lot of tears and
yeah.
struggle and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody go through. I don't care who you are. You know, the president or the owner of Nike. Everybody's going through something. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So everything is not peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Thank you guys and
thank you.
and thank you for
Thank you.
exploring that with us. That not everything's
Yes.
perfect all the time. And
sure,
it's what we
yeah.
make of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
love your
And being emotional. Yes, open
Yes,
up. Yes,
I love
because
the-
because that's your passion.
Yeah.
When I did see you tear up, it was showing that you're passionate about what you do and you're passionate about people.
Yeah.
So that's I love that. So
yeah. And the authenticity is there.
Yes, it is.
with women. You know, I think men are always worried about like, oh, what are we gonna?
No, we can't cry because we're.
No, girl, I'd be
Don't
balling.
get me on that.
Yeah. Well, y'all, we're gonna segue off. I'm sure we're gonna play a little bit of music. Whenever you're ready, you can just.
What do you want? What do you want for today?
I don't know. I was thinking. I see that you've got some hoobas thing. What about? Can we play The Reason? Or are we gonna get away with it?
I love the reason.
I
What
love
you
The
know
Reason,
about
you
the
guys.
reason?
What do I know about The Reason? Look, Eva's looking at me because our Spotify playlist is alternative 90s dad rock.
I love it.
Or like people often refer to my music taste as like a very like sad lesbian, like from the 90s. Like I like peaked in the
Mine's
90s.
like that.
My big relationship ended in the 90s. Like I've never met anyone like that woman again. And we like listened to exclusively to Jewel, Alanis Morissette, like a bunch of like just sad stuff. I just like clutch pictures of
Mazzy
her and
Star,
cry.
yeah.
Yes, yes, fade into me.
Yes.
No, guys, this was awesome.
Awesome. I'm thankful
Guys.
for everybody. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. I'm gonna be the first one to walk off. I typically am. That's a Jew thing. We're out of here.
Love y'all much, man. Thank y'all again, man. This is your boy T Vocal, the host.
And it was Cade Worley. Good morning, Shreveport, and have a wonderful day.
And we had Racheal and Ashlee in the building. Thank y'all, ladies, so much. Until next time.
Okay, and I'm gonna go potty.
We out of here.
And the reason is you. I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's something I must live with every day. And all the pain I put you through, I wish that I could take it